Welcome, my friends, to another 8 Ends. This is the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships coming to you from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club in Oakland. This is your host, Ryan Olson, bringing you the midday draw of our Saturday triple header featuring Team Asis from Silicon Valley and Rock Creek Curling of Lafayette, Colorado, taking on Team Gilbert from Oval Curling of Utah and Nashville Curling of Nashville in Tennessee. The last stone draw has been completed, and they announced, I think, all four yellow teams got the hammer across the sheets. So there was a bit of a cheer by the curlers just at that coincidence. And so that means that Gilbert will have the last rock advantage here on our feature sheets. As teams are doing their last slides, we'll join that in just a moment as soon as I update the scoreboard. Thank you all for tuning in. We will keep an eye on the other games as we will go around the rings from time to time. If you have any questions or comments or just a nudge to say, hey, check out what's going on, one of the other sheets, let me know and I'll do my best to pop over. So these teams are in the middle of the pack, looking for. I think if they win both their remaining games, they'll have maybe a chance to get into consideration for a tiebreaker, but they'll need a lot of luck to get there. As we see, Jeremy Malarick with his first. And we are underway here at the 2026 Mixed Fours Playdowns on the curling.gg network. And that is a intern clockwise rotation into the house. Settles in the back 4 foot, it looks like. And so Ramin Gilbert has the broom down for Tessa Parker. So Team Gilbert is primarily out of the oval in Utah. Tessa is the special guest as she started at the oval and then has since moved to Nashville and curls with the Nashville club at T-Line, which is a unique curling facility in Nashville. If people have a chance to go, it sounds like it's worth a shot. As Tessa's takeout was successful. And so Jeremy is going to try the takeout as well, just based on where Jennifer Asis has the broom. This is a long event. We have 9 teams in the field, and we had the time to do a full round robin. So that means each team is playing 8 games as Jeremy makes a hit, and the shooter's going to roll out a play. So it's a full 8 game round robin. And the other factor is that there's no subs. You can't sub in someone in the mixed fours format, just like the mixed doubles format. So everyone has to play every game, or I think if you are a shorter person, I don't think you can even sub. You can't even play down 3, I believe. So looking to put up a corner guard with an open sheet. This is looking pretty guardy. Actually, it slips into the rings. Settles in the top 8 foot as the broom is down for the second for Team Asis. This is Jacqueline Pitlars. Going to hit, and then the shooter's going to roll to the center line. Jeremy just kind of gave it a quick polish in front of the on the ice in front of the rock. It may have added a millimeter to the distance. So You see Tara Umflett in the house. She is the vice for the team as Ramin throws second. And let's go back. Ramin throws second because that's the nature of the event where you had to alternate between genders, man, woman, or woman, man, man. So that means Gilbert likes to have David Hurst throw fourth as Ramin's shot kisses and misses. So just because of the format of the event, Ramin is throwing second, although he holds the room for everyone else. And we will see Jacqueline's second shot. This is looking to be a front stone. Actually, is I think going to tap the shot stone back. Actually, no, I apologize. The shot stone's on the other side of the ice. Settles in roughly parallel to the former shot stone, so let's look at a good outcome for uh, Jacqueline and Team Aces. So this is Ramin's second crack at the takeout. Ramin and David, their regular men's team or mixed is called a complete sheet show, and they do like to hit, and they do make the hit there as the shooter rolls away, as does the shot rock, and so Aces is back to setting one, and they are going to draw and try to split the rings again with the third for Team Aces, which is going to be Andy Carl. So looking to split the rings, probably a similar shot to what Jacqueline just threw for the blue squad. Working to coach it as far as they can into the rings. It's going to settle in biting the 8-foot ring. And so Gilbert is looking at hitting and rolling. And that seems to be a pretty solid call. Hard to disagree with that. Assuming that the players have that shot in their repertoire. This is Kara Umflett throwing third stones. The vice, yep, looking to hit and slight roll. This is over curling, so I think they're definitely just going to work to make sure they get a piece of that uh, blue stone. And they do. It rolls to the opposite side of what they had wanted, but that is good for second shot. It does kind of allow Aces to keep a split house, increasing the chances of them scoring 2 points. Although it's Gilbert that has the hammer in this end. So this is Andy's second shot. This is going to hit, and it's going to roll slightly towards the middle. Actually, it's going to roll close to on top of the shot stone on the left. Uh, Maybe marked as a slight miss because you definitely wanted to not set up a possible double. You wanted to maintain that separation between the stones across the house. And so Umflett has a chance to take on the double. Going for the counterclockwise, calling the line right out of hand. This looks like it's going to get something. It's both blues moving, and Gilbert jumps on that second blue to try to get it through the rings, but it's going to hang on to be shot in the back 12 foot. So it does open things up. It does still give Asis a bit of an advantage to force Gilbert to a possible single point. But that was a good shot there from Kara. As we have Andy holding the broom for Jennifer Asis. Andy wearing the Rock Creek sweatshirt is the so-called odd man out, as he's from Colorado, and Jennifer, Jacqueline, and Jeremy are from Silicon Valley. As we see the first stone coming from the Bay Area skip, looking to put the rock right in the top 8 foot. This is looking pretty good. And it's pretty much right where they wanted it. So you made it for Gilbert Sade control. They're going to try and set up the cross house double, which is a big reason why David Hurst often throws fourth, because he does have that good takeout weight in his arsenal. This is going to nose hit. So it seems like the force will be on. It does get rid of one of the blue counters. So Jennifer is going to pop out that yellow stone and then force Gilbert to try the double takeout again to blank, or force Ramin's rink to just draw for a single point or hit for a single point. This looks like it's on target. Got plenty of weight. Got the line, and they have two in the house. So looks like they're going to set up for the nose hits. Last rock coming for Team Gilbert. This is the fourth, David Hurst. Looking for a hit and stick for one. And that looks pretty good. Going to roll slightly to the outside, but not enough to be outcounted. So good end by Team Asis to force Team Gilbert to a single point. But good for Team Gilbert to not give up a steal. So there's a silver lining for both teams as we head into the second end with Team Gilbert up 1-0 over Team Asis. Pause in the action. We'll be right back to our coverage of the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. And coverage of this event is being brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. Throughout the competitive curling season, proprietor Ken Pomeroy updates the site after major curling events to offer a unique set of statistics and rankings for the top men's and women's teams from around the world at doubletakeout.com. And by curling.gg, proud to be an official sponsor of Team Canada's mixed doubles champions, Brett Gallant and Jocelyn Peterman. And by Endgame Curling. Elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. As we are about to get the second end underway, we have Tessa Parker in the hack, going to Looks like she's going to draw in. They said it looks heavy. I concur. And that will settle in. Looks like the back 8 foot. Indeed, that is where it ends up. So Aces has the broom down for the takeout. As you see, Jeremy stepping into the hat. There's a ticking clock in the background. That's not the blinking blue box. It's the one with the two times. Both teams have 30 minutes apiece of thinking time, which the clock starts ticking when they get control of the sheet, and it stops ticking as soon as they start the delivery of the rock. And that's just a bit heavy. It goes through the house out of play. So this next shot coming from Tessa is going for top 8, as Ramin said. So if they run out of time, they lose the game. It has not happened from what I've seen at these events. Uh, I don't know if Tessa was happy with that shot. Looking for top 8. This is going a little heavy, although we've seen that when the rocks kind of hit the brakes, they do brake fairly hard. But this is, I think, going to go for maybe a plan B to the back 4. So it does set up a double for Team Aces. So for the clock, teams I think generally want to play an end in about 3 minutes 40 seconds. Some strategy is to play a little more quickly in the first half of the game, and that would give a little extra time to maybe play an end in about 4 minutes. Another consideration is that teams do get a 1 minute timeout, as Jeremy makes the almost a double, like a full double. That yellow's out of the rings. So that mostly a double takeout was brought to you by doubletakeout.com, which is the sponsor of this end of coverage here on the curling.gg network. So that was a good shot there by Jeremy. Ramin's shot is away. Looking to, I think, just hit and stick. So Jennifer went to take a look at that yellow just outside the house. I think it's out just outside the house. So this is Jacqueline's first. This is over curling, I think. Might get a piece. It just kisses it. I think it's going to be enough to get it out, and indeed it does go out of play. So that was shot worked by Pitlars. So open sheet. So they're looking to find a place to go to. Looking to put up a guard. The 5 rock rule is over with this shot. Oh no, they have one more shot. No, the free dart shot, the 5 rock rule is over for this set. Had to count stones. This is going to slip into the rings, but Jennifer would have been able to attack it regardless of where it was placed on the sheet. Just a smidge heavy. As Jacqueline's shot is quickly away. Looking to hit it out with the outturn rotation. Hit and just a slight roll, not too bad. So Asis is sitting 1 right now, and so Gilbert's trying to keep a clean sheet and just not set up a big point score, I think, one way or the other. As Kara lines up for the takeout. Remains calling for line. It did start to curl pretty quickly near the middle of the sheet. It looks like it's going to kiss it and hopefully get enough of that energy to get it through the rings out of play, which it does. And then the shooter also rolls the opposite direction, it hits the pads out of play. So that blue, sorry, that Aces blue is still on the sheet. It's not likely to be a factor for the rest of this end. It's that far out of the playing area, although still hanging on. As we have Andy Carl with his first of the end. I think looking to draw on top of the yellow in the back of the sheet. Not the yellow's not counting, but this one will hopefully count. This is just a bit up weight, and Rumi's going to sweep it through the house out of play. So looking to maybe set up a chance to score. We have Umflet with her next stone, calling for a guard. This is a little up weight. It's gonna maybe slip into the top of the rings, top 4 foot. So not quite a guard. Placement didn't matter too much because, like I said, the whole sheet is accessible for hits right now. As Andy gets set for his second stone. I do love the dramatic pan and zoom, like ooh. Saying, whoa, this looks like it's going to hit, and then it's going to roll across the house out of play. So definitely accomplishes the principal goal of keeping a clean sheet. Lost the shooter, so I don't know if they need a shooter. It looks like we're headed to a blank here in this second end. And Gilbert is asking David Hurst to, I think, try to put up a guard again. Looking for a tight guard, I believe. Or I think they're maybe trying to get in the house as Gilbert jumps up to help sweep it into the rings. So he wanted to be in the house. Looks pretty good. I think they wanted it just a little deeper, but not too bad. And so Asis, I think playing for the blink is going to chip that out, and then we'll see what Gilbert does. If that Asis rock is in the house, I think Remy is just gonna pop that out and then let Asis either try to hit out the Gilbert Stone for a blank or throw through if there's no rocks in the rings. As Jennifer gets set. This is her first rock with the hammer away. Looking to see some hit and a slight roll. This is maybe going to sit down, and it does. So not too shabby from Jennifer. So looking for control weight, looking to hit that blue out and then roll towards the middle a bit, I believe, as David gets set for his last without the hammer here in the second. Parker's jumping on it for the line. It's going to be close. It's a bit closer to nose at this point. So nose, oh, and it just rolls to the outside of the fringe. So um, it really depends on if Asis thinks the rock is in or not. And I don't think they're going to take the chance as they're setting up for a takeout. So if they think it's in, they're going to try to hit and roll out for the blank. And then if they hit and stick for one, that's not too bad. It'll be a tie game. So from the overhead, I don't know if it's counting or not. It definitely it doesn't look like it's in, but um, we're not on the ice. I don't know. This is the last rock coming from Jennifer Aces. Looking for a hit and roll out for the blank. At the very least, make sure that yellow goes away. They don't want to promote it further into the house, and they're not going to. They're going to hit, and it's going to roll through the back of the house out of play. And so, pretty sure that is a blank as they are kicking that stone. So, Aces successfully executes the blank. Good shot there. And we're going to take a pause, and we'll be right back as we continue with our ongoing coverage of the 2026 doubletakeout.com MoPac Championships. Those are some aggressive high fives. While they are about to start the third end of a possible 8 ends of regulation, let's go around the rings really quickly. Let you guys know the 4 games happening on the ice. Sheets A through D. Sheets A has a contest between Team Cerna of uh, San Francisco Wine Country and Coyotes, taking on Team Coleman from San Francisco. Coleman has the yellow rocks and was forced to a single in the first end. Sheet B is our feature game where we saw Team Asis blank the second end, letting Team Gilbert with the Yellowstones hold a 1-0 advantage after 2. Sheet 3, it looks like they're tied. One of the scores is kind of obscured by some of the there's like a little wind baffle out on the ice. Looks like they're all tied after 2-1. The contest between Team McBride with the Bluestones, undefeated, taking on Team McDonald. And then on sheet D, we have Team Endicott from Coyotes taking on Team Lane from Coyotes. So it's a cat clash, or coyotes clash. They're dogs. And it looks like Endicott stole the first end as they're about to finish the second end right now. We are keeping track of the scores at bonspieler.com. And turning now to the first shot from Jeremy. Going for the out turn. I think put up a corner guard. As Tessa's first shot was a center line guard, and that was on the center line, so the no tit rule applies to it. Jeremy's going to draw into the rings, actually. Is it going to sit down? Is the question, and the answer is no. So now Tessa Parker has a draw around her own guard, going for the in-turn clockwise rotation. I don't think it's going to get there. One of the reports on these rods is that they do coast a decent amount, but I've seen that once the weight comes off, they do dig in, as it just did. So I thought that was a draw round. Turns out to be a guard, not too shabby. And so Jeremy is going to try that draw round with his next rock. Again, going for the in-turn clockwise rotation. The in-turn, out-turn are based on how your elbow moves in or out, depending on how you rotate the stone. Uh, that's all there is to it. So looking to draw around, Jeremy, I think, probably threw a little less weight than his first stone. And then it kind of swung back towards the middle with with the last couple of turns of the rock. Pretty good, although the rock is open. And so Gilbert and Kara are going to put a broom on it, and I think maybe try to hit and roll under cover. So not too shabby from Jeremy. Does create an opportunity for Ramin. I think looking for about control weight. Set it way outside. Dave's going to try to push it over. Looking like it might get a piece. And it's going to just flash past the shot stone. So just a bit outside, unfortunately. So now it gives Aces a chance to put another stone in. She does have the hammer this end for Jacqueline. Line looks, oh, it looks a little tight to the guard. It chips off of the guard. It also ticks it off the center line, but that was the sixth rock to the end. So the no tick in the free guard zone did not apply to that stone. Does roll wide right, providing some cover on the left side of the sheet. And so Gilbert is going to try that takeout once more. It's great watching curlers at this level. There are some mistakes as this is overcurling a little bit, but it's going to make contact and roll under cover. So I said overcurled a little bit, actually curled just the right amount. There's mistakes. Mistakes happen at every level, but most curlers know what they're doing, and we just saw that with Gilbert with that hit and roll. That looked really nice. A good recovery after flashing with his first rock. So Asis is going to peel the guard, maybe try to do a double with Jacqueline's second stone. And yeah, just see all the energy go into the rock right where she's sliding. This is going to peel one of the guards and just peels it on top of the blue or off of the blue, and it caroms into the top of the house. So a slight miss, I would say. It does open up the middle, so the primary goal was accomplished. And so Ramin has the room down for Kara to draw and put up a front stone. As coverage of this end is being brought to you by curling.gg. Curling.gg is growing fast and has partnered with Jamie Sinclair from the Curl Up with Jamie channel to bring more curling insight to fans everywhere at curling.gg. And once it breaks, it can break hard depending on the weight. So this is looking pretty good. It's going to get around the guard. I maybe would have kept sweeping a little bit more, but it actually ends up protecting the middle more than protecting the shot stone. Not a bad outcome, though. So Andy is in the hack after briefly talking over the shot with Jennifer, looking to hit and I think peel the rocks, maybe set up a double. Gets two of the yellows moving. Both yellows go out of play. So that is a double takeout brought to you by doubletakeout.com. And we are seeing two Gilbert yellows in the rings, but one is kind of hidden off to the side. The other one's like right front and center, much like a darling child during a Christmas pageant. So Tara is looking to put up the guard again. Uh, I think wanted to be a little bit further out than last time, but Ramin said it was a little tight, it sounded like. So this is going to shape up to be a front stone. Ends up in a really good place. So maybe someone else is saying it was tight. It is kind of close to each other. So Aces is going to ask Andy to do the double takeout. And we just saw him throw a great one. So let's see if he has two great double takeouts in his pocket. So some discussion about which way to attack the possible double takeout. Switching to, she wanted to go more left to right, and so Andy's going to do more right to left. He's going to throw a lot of weight to make the shot come out. Looks like he's going to get one. Okay, it jams, but it does get rid of one of the yellows. So Gilbert is sitting 1 and 3. Aces has the second stone in the house. That was a interesting call. I don't know if going the other way would have resulted in the double, but it does clear one of the yellows and does help establish blue control of the front of the house. Although it's worth noting that it is Aces that has the hammer this end. I have to remind myself about that from time to time as we see David's first shot underway. Looking to hit and roll looks to be the call here. It is going to hit. Not much of a roll. Oh, and it jams on the yellow in the back. Not the worst outcome, although that yellow shot stone goes out of play. The primary goal of getting rid of the blue was accomplished, and it does leave Gilbert sitting two in the top of the 12, which is it can be a tricky situation. I don't know if anyone in the chat wants to chime in, but I know sometimes play to the top of the rings is kind of frustrating to deal with because it's high enough to block other shots from coming into the rings, but also it's too high to count sometimes. As someone who is able to draw around is in scoring position and often buried. So, if anyone has any thoughts about how to tell me how to defeat that, that'd be much appreciated. As Jennifer Asis is in the hat, looking to maybe do the double, a thin slash double, I guess I would call it. Looks like it's going to be a little over curling. So it noses the yellow. And so now I think what Gilbert would like to do is maybe draw around, sit two for sure, and then make it kind of force Aces to draw for a single point. As the fourth for Team Gilbert, David Hurst gets set. This is the last rock for the yellow team without the hammer here in the third end. I think Tessa indicated that it is about a little upweight. Also wanted to make sure it gets around that guard. It looks pretty good. Now the weight is the issue. It needs to sit down, and it will sit in the back forefoot. So great draw there from David Hurst as it gets around that center blue guard. And so facing two, Jennifer is going to draw down on top of that yellow that David just threw. Hitting doesn't help. I mean, they could hit and stick, but I don't, the line they would need to throw to make the takeout is, I think, a little too tight. They would run the risk of crashing on their own stone. So opting for the draw for a single. As Jennifer gets set, this is the last rock to hammer coming from the team from Silicon Valley and Rock Creek. Jacqueline's on it for sweeping. Needs to make sure it gets around the guard. It looks like it will. And now the question is it going to get on top of the yellow? The line looks a little wide, although it's going to sit down just in time and curl just enough for the single point. So good draw there from Aces. So pausing the action. We'll be right back as we continue with our coverage of the 2026 Mixed Fours Playdowns coming to you on the curling.gg network. We've got a tied game, and before we jump into the next end, teams have a minute break between ends. There's 30 seconds to go. Let's take a look at the standings so that you guys know what is the scenario as we are two draws away from finishing our full round robin. So each team is going to play 8 total games. There's one team on bye right now, that is Barajas, and then McLean is going to have the last bye. So McBride is currently at 6-0. Coleman is just a step behind with a 5-1, and then McDonald is in the 3 spot with a 4-2 record. So Coleman and McDonald are, I think, vying to stay alive. If McBride goes through undefeated and Coleman has one loss still, we have what's called a 2-loss rule for championships. Basically, a team has to have two losses before they can be officially eliminated from consideration if it gets to that point, depending on the standings. So in this case, if the standings hold and McBride and Coleman finish with just one loss, they would play in a tiebreaker. If McBride is in the clear and Coleman has two losses, then we would know who the champion is. And you can also see where Gilbert is, kind of in the middle of the pack at 3-3, right with Aces. And so I don't think they can get into playoff contention at this point, but they're definitely doing a very solid job. At a 500 record through 6 games, pretty impressive. As we are going to see Tessa Parker just set for her first rock here in the fourth end of a possible 8 ends of regulation. Jeremy's first rock slipped into the rings, and this is going to be a hit. Boffo, as they say on Broadway, or B-Way, as they say in Variety, or Party Mitts, as they say at the convenience store. End of list. So Jeremy has been curling for 10 years. He was at this event in 19 and 20. Some of his other notable fun facts that his favorite bonspiel was the Moray International Bonspiel in Elgin, Scotland. Uh, he's also the teammate most likely to be caught on video making a face about the Stips call, and his favorite walk-up song is the Rebirth of Slick by Diggable Planets, and he did make that hit. And so Tessa is going to throw a hit of her own. Tessa's been curling for a number of years. Again, she started at Oval Curling when she moved to Utah. She's from Kansas City, Kansas, and that hit is made. The shooter rolls wide right to the 8 foot, so that was successful. Uh, she took up curling in 2019, has since moved to Nashville and continues to curl there. In her spare time, she hikes, plays with her dog, travels, and more. And she's also done 3 Ironman 70.3s and is training for a full Ironman this year. Oh, so a flash there from Jacqueline, unfortunately. So now this is a chance for Gilbert to split the rings, I believe, as we see Tessa getting the ruck ready for the skip. They're changing the broom. So I think they're actually going to put a stone in front of the current shot rock, as we have Ramin throwing his first. His team has the hammer, but he is throwing second. And they're saying it needs to get over. And it does need to get over a bunch. So that is a guard that is not guarding too much. And it gives Aces a chance to hit and roll. So Jacqueline has another chance at this shot. She's been curling for 4 years. Her favorite bonspiel is the North Hill Curling Club Cross Border Bonspiel. That's up in Alberta. And this is much more on target. It's trying to hit it right on the schnoz. And so now Kara has the broom down for Ramin to take on the hit and roll. Jacqueline was also the teammate most likely to book an Airbnb 6 months in advance. So Ramin's been curling for 4 years. Uh, he was born and raised in Florida and spent most of his life thinking that ice only came in cubes, moving to Utah in 2006, and started to take an interest after watching the Turin games in '06. Dave's working to hold the line. This is, I think, going to make contact, and then the shooter is going to maybe roll. Oh, we had a burned rock there, and the shooter's going to roll to the back of the house. Oh man, it's been a while since I've seen a burned rock burned that hard. And I'm guessing that Dave kind of kicked it when he slipped by the shooter. So, well, he rolled by the guard, chasing the shooter. The shooter ends up in the back of the house, the back of the playing area, to be more precise. So the guard is back in place, and they're still working on the positioning for the stone. It's up to the non-offending team, Asis in this count, in this case, to put the rod back where it needs to. While they're doing that, just to let you guys know that this end is being brought to you by Endgame Curling. Take your broom on the road with ease with the Endgame travel handle. Its 100% carbon fiber three-piece travel handle is built for convenience and fits most carry-on luggage. Plus, it's compatible with heads of other broom brands. Elevate your bonspiel game with Endgame Curling. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. So this is the third stones. Andy's going to go first, as Aces does not have the hammer. Throwing some heat at that. I think looking to peel the guard. And that guard is going to say sayonara, sweethearts. So open house and starting to feel like a blank in here as Tara is getting set for her first rock. And looking to curl to the right wing as we switch views. Intern, clockwise rotation. I think they would like to be in the house, in the top, perhaps, as it does slip into the top of the rings, right above the, or just right on the 8-foot line. And so Aces has the broom down for the takeout. I think just kind of trying to put the rock into place. That might be hard for Andy to get to it. My bad, folks. Let me get that fixed for you. He's already underway. We'll just leave it. So Andy's been curling for 12 years. Some past experience includes that's a nose hit. So Andy's been curling. Past appearances at Miss Playdowns in 2019 and 2020. He's gone over to the Mid America Curling Association and was skipping at Miss Playdowns in 23 and 24. His favorite bonspiel was the Gaslight Spiel, celebrating Rocky Creek Curling's 100th anniversary, which is a lie, which is, I think, why it's called Gaslight. So Kara is making a play on that blue. This is over curling, even though Tess is trying to hold on to the line. It's going to flash and say sayonara, sweetheart. So now Asis has a chance to crank up the pressure. Tara, before we move on to our skips and fourths, Tara has been curling for many a year. 13 years off and on. Last year I was third in pool play at mixed playdowns. Was also at the Rocky Mountain Bonspiel in Ogden. Won the event in 2022. As we have Jennifer's Stone head down the ice, looking to split the rings. I thought they were going to try to do that. They want to make sure it gets into the reins so that Gilbert will have to contend with it. This is over curling slightly, but it will stick around on the edge of the 12 foot. So the rings are split indeed, although it looks like Gilbert's going to try the long crosshouse double. Not impossible, but the level of difficulty is a bit higher than average, I would say. Not quite trying to do a 7-10 split in bowling. So it's going to get, oh, hits on the outside. So it just is the one. So Aces is going to split the house again. I think maybe put one. I think they want to make it as hard as possible for Gilbert to do the draw or hit for a single point. But the force is on. Jennifer has been curling for 11 years. She was at Mitts Playdowns in 2024. She notes that her favorite Bonspiel experience was the 2025 Rock Creek Green and Gold Bonspiel. The teammate most likely to swirl away snacks, and her walk-up song is "Fighter" by Lady Christina Aguilera. Needs to make sure it's in the reins. If it doesn't get in the reins, then Gilbert's gonna have a chance for the blank for the fourth end, and it does not get to the house. And so now Gilbert is going to try the uh, hit and roll away for the blank and to carry the hammer into the fifth end beyond the 5 minute break. So the broom is down pretty quickly for David. So it looks like it's going to hit the outside of the blue goes away, the yellow does too. So that is a blank. And so we will carry, Gilbert will carry the hammer into the fifth end. I accidentally said we. Um, I curl out of the oval. I've played with and against most of those players, but definitely want to let you guys know that I am not letting that impact my coverage of this event. I do my best to represent all the curlers and MoPac as fairly as possible. So, blank end, we're going to go to the fifth with a score tied 1-1. Ongoing coverage of the 2026 MoPac Championships are being brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com, offering a unique ranking of the top men's and women's teams from around the world. See how your favorite team stacks up against the competition at DoubleTakeout.com, and by Curling.gg. Curling.gg just launched a new beta feature that lets you upload photos and recreate real curling scenarios. Check it out and give it a try at curling.gg. And by Endgame Curling, elevate, elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. Going to take a pause in the action, and we'll be right back with the second half of this exciting, close, low-scoring affair from the mixed fours playdowns on the curling.gg network. As our featured game continues their fifth and fourth end break, let's go around the reins. Oh man, I want to maybe poke an eye or peek into sheet A, as there are a lot of rocks in the reins. Let's do that right now. Why not? So on sheet A, we have the contest between Team Cerna with the Bluestones taking on Team Coleman with the Yellows. Lots of rocks in the rings. Looks like every rock that's been thrown is in the house or a guard. Looks like Coleman is sitting 3 yellows right now, down 1 point. The score is Cerna 2, Coleman 1. So we're seeing Anto Cerna get into the hat for her last rock, I believe. So it's a pretty messy situation, and I think she's trying to get out of a bit of a jam, maybe cut down the scoring. And this is going to maybe end up actually raising the yellow, hits the yellow over. Oh, I think they may have wanted to try to hit the blue into the pile, perhaps. It doesn't work, and so Coleman has a chance for 4 in this very messy house. She's already got 3 in the pocket and has that draw for 4, and it's a pretty open look at the center of the house. This is Skip Gabrielle Coleman for the San Francisco rink. Cerna has players from Coyotes, Wine Country, and San Francisco. This is an all San Francisco rink for Coleman. So looking for the draw for 4 to take a 5-2 lead into the fourth end break. Her rock is away. There's some backing if they need it, so they basically need to be biting the forefoot for that fourth point. And that looks like it's going to be on the money. If it gets there, oh, it just pulls up short. Is it enough though? And we also had a rock come in from the other sheet. Oh my gosh. So we might have a measure. Nope, they're taking the stone. So not quite sure what the score is. We'll definitely update you when they do. So at least three, maybe four. It was close. So shifting back to our feature game, where we have Gilbert drawing in, or actually a guard, pardon me. We have Asis, I think, drawing with Jeremy's first. Okay, so Jeremy drew in, settling in the back of the house with his first. Uh, Parker put up a corner guard, and then Jeremy threw another ruck into the rings, and that's where we're at. The room is down for a, I think, drawing around. This is the fifth end. Okay, so they're going for the hit and roll. So it hits, jams on the back, but the Yellowstone sits around to be shot rock. As we have Jacqueline with her first rock. Looking for a hit, and I think some roll. They don't want to jam on the back. It jams. So two jams back to back. Might as well call this school lunch, if that joke makes sense. If it doesn't, no refunds. So it looks like Gilbert's going to try to hit the blue stone from the outside. If it's a little tight, it might raise the guard into the rings. But this is looking okay as Tesla's working to push it over. Looks like it's going to make some contact, and it might jam on that yellow in the back. I've been saying jam, but that rock in the back has been like a magnet for both teams this end. So kind of a kiss and a miss, unfortunately, from Gilbert. As we see Pit Lars' next rock. I think looking to just draw to the top of the house, kind of start to establish control of the front and the center of the sheets, which is a common strategy if you do not have the hammer and are looking to either steal or force the other team to a low score. Um, so definitely helps establish control of the center. Uh, the double does seem to be there, and Gilbert does put the broom down. Um, I don't think it's likely that there's going to be a jam on the Yellowstone in the back. There could be a jam on the blue in the back, just depending on the angle that they hit the stone at. Lots of weight on that stone. Let's see if it's on target. Calling for curl. It's close, and it does hit the blue, but it sails past the other blue in the back of the house. The shooter sticks around on the edge of the 12-foot, so Asis is sitting shot, but Gilbert has shots 2 and 3. So first rock for Andy coming down the pike. Looking to, I think, put another front stone in front of the blue counting rock. This one is looking okay. Might go pretty much, I think, right where Jennifer wanted it. Maybe it didn't curl enough. And so Gilbert is going to ask Kara to try the takeout once again. Looking for a possible double with the in-turn clockwise rotation. Line's looking good as Tessa works to hold onto the line. And it makes contact with the shot stone and then it breezes past the blue in the back from the other side of the stone. So Gilbert is sitting 1-3-4 right now, but I'm sure Aces is going to ask Andy to make that stone say bye bye. Bye. Looking for a hit. This is over curling slightly, so it might end up jamming on the yellow in the back. So Jam City continues here in this fifth end. But that shooter rolls into a really good place for Aces, buried behind the guard. So Gilbert is, I think, looking to see if they can run the guard back onto the blue shot stone. In the rings currently, it is Aces sitting 1-2, Gilbert sitting 3-4. And the broom is down for that raised takeout for Umflit's last. This is over. Oh, gonna go for the one in the back, maybe. Nope. It peels the guard, and then the shooter's gonna roll away. So Aces is sitting 2, but those stones are open. All right, as Jennifer gets into the hack, looking to split the rings and force Gilbert to a single, possibly. Going for the counterclockwise outturn rotation. They don't want it to go too deep. They do have some backing though, and that will settle in for shot. So Gilbert could try the crosshouse double, and that seems to be the call. Looking to hit the inside of the outer blue on the left side from this view, and then roll across the house to the back blue. This is going to be, I think, a little outside and noses it, and then the shooter rolls just a smidge. So not a bad plan B.
Looks like blue is still shot on the back left from this view, although they're looking at the angles. I think they definitely want to avoid jamming, which is why Andy is taking a close look at that stone, looking to just make that yellow go away without jamming, and then indeed force Gilbert to likely draw for one, could hit for one. You can also try the double in the back, depending on how the rocks are positioned. So this is looking okay. Yep, hits it right on the just to the left of the center of the stone and pushes that yellow out of the rings. Shooter sits around. So the question is, how do you get shot? The force is on. And I think they're looking to hit and roll in toward the button. That's a tough way to do that, but like I said, some teams have their preference, and that is what they are opting to do. Last rock, the hammer coming from the fourth for Team Gilbert. This is David Hurst, looking for a hit and slight roll for the single point. This is looking pretty good. Going to hit and that slight roll towards the top of the forefoot for the signal. So they knew what they were doing all day, all day. So good for a single point. Pause in the action. We'll be right back to the 2026 doubletakeout.com MoPac Championships. As Tessa is about to throw her first stone of the game, let's go around the rings fairly quickly just to let you guys know what's happening. Again, scores are being posted to bonspieler.com. So it looks like Team Coleman did get 4 points in that fourth end, currently holding on to a 5-2 lead over Team Cerna on Sheet A. Sheet B is our feature game as we're watching Tessa's Yellowstone slip. I think we're going to go through the rings, but you can see it hit the brakes. It hits the brakes in the back 8 foot, so I'm still getting used to the weight on these stones. Sheet C, the contest between Team McBride and Team McDonald. This is undefeated McBride down 5-2 over Team McDonald. That could make things interesting depending on how this game turns out. Could have some pretty huge implications for the standings. We'll definitely keep an eye on that game. And then on sheet D, we have Team Endicott holding on to a 7-0 lead over Team McLean. Team McLean is looking for their first win. They've been fighting hard all tournament long, and it'd be definitely good to see them in the win column. Um, it's good to get experience, but it's also good to get wins. So, shifting back to our feature game, we're going to see Tessa with her second shot as I'm not seeing a rock in the ring, so I don't know if Jeremy also missed with his first stone. It's an open house right now. So it seems like both both first stones for each team missed. Oh no, Jeremy hit. So Jeremy hit and rolled out. That makes sense. Because Tessa Stone sat in the back 8 foot. I remember stuff. As Tessa Stone is a center guard. Looks like it might be on the center line. As Jeremy pushes out from the hatch. Looking to, I think, maybe set up a corner guard. Coming up a little heavy, I think. So not a guard is going to slip into the rings. And you and I both know that Gilbert's going to put a broom right on it and ask to pop that out and hopefully maybe roll towards the middle. Coverage of this end is being brought to you by our broadcast sponsor, curling.gg. Curling.gg is proud to be an official sponsor of Team Canada's mixed doubles champions Brett Gallant and Jocelyn Peterman. Curling.gg is going to hit and roll ever so slightly. So the broom is down for Jacqueline to do the takeout. That's going to roll a little bit. Just going to poke out the other side and settle in the back 12 foot. So the broom is down for Gilbert to do the takeout from the other side. I think close to a nose hit would be good. Turns out to just be a nose with a slight roll towards the middle, ever so slightly. So both teams are trading hits back and forth. Asis has the hammer as Jacqueline throws her next stone. Going clockwise rotation. Going to hit and roll under cover. So that hit and roll was made successfully that time by Pitlars. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We do have our final MoPac After Dark coming up tonight at 7:30 Pacific time, where our feature game will be Team McBride taking on Team Barajas. So that could be a very exciting game, especially depending on how this current game between McDonald and McBride holds up. As we see Kara get set for her first rock. Looking to, I think, draw on top of the blue that is in the back 4 foot. Line looks pretty good. just a slight tap, but pretty well managed by the sweepers down the ice. And so it's creating a little bit of a pocket for aces to draw into, either team to draw into, really. But good shot there from Kara. It is possible for Asis and Andy to pop it out. It seems to be close to the shot. This looks like a heavy draw, perhaps. So right on the center of the yellow, pushes the yellow back to the 8 foot, and so now Aces is sitting two, back button and back 4 foot, and so the game has now gone to the draw game. It's crazy how things can change as we see Kara's next rock underway. So this needs to curl maybe just a little bit as David's working to coach it over. And that's trying to tap it back, tap the blue back to the pile, and just back to back to back draws by both vices. And so I think there could be one more tap to be shot, but then they might have to try something else after that. So this is actually more of a hit, I believe, as Andy Carl gets set. This is a little bit more weight. I think it's more soft takeout weight, maybe board. Needs to make sure it doesn't hit the guard. Looks like it might kiss the guard. It does kiss the guard. And then that stone's going to end up to the back. Uh, yeah, Aces is blue. I momentarily forgot which color was which team's. It's a long weekend, but it's a fun weekend. I hope you guys are having fun too. As now there is a look for Gilbert to put up a guard or a front stone with David Hurst's first. Ramin lights the line. So this is going to be a guard. And the line is the most important part with this type of shot. And it looks like it is covering the shot stone. The shot stone is kind of poking out a little bit in the back. So I think Aces can do a. I think Aces would want to open it up. She has the hammer this end. And I think she wants to try to score multiple points. I say that, and they're looking at maybe doing the heavy draw. So, what do you guys think? I think if they want to score multiple points, they should try to clear open the middle. They could clear out both guards, uh, peel both guards, and then have a chance at the center. Although Gilbert would just put up another front stoner guard. The heavy draw is dangerous because also there's backing for that shot yellow. So curious to see how this shot will go, especially as they are opting for the heavy draw. Uh, Tap back as Jennifer gets set in the hack. And not only is Jennifer a member of MoPac, she's also the president of the association. She's been president for about a year now. We definitely appreciate her leadership and helping to. Everyone helps to organize these events, but her leadership has definitely helped streamline the process of securing venues and the cooperation of our member clubs. We love it. This is past the guard. It's going. It just kisses and misses. So that was, I think, the danger of that shot, but not as dangerous as it could have been. So they're talking about just drawing and putting another one on top, and I think that makes sense. There's a possible danger of tapping that yellow back, but I don't think it's going to happen. Or at least to outcount the or to let the other blues come into play. This is David Hurst's last rock. Looking to put a rock right in the top of the forefoot, although Kara indicated the weight was maybe a little up from her vantage point. And yeah, it's it might be going bye-bye. So maybe looking for a plan B. There's no plan B. It sits down in the back of the 8 foot. So that's probably the right way to miss, not to set up a double or somehow show aces the path to the button. So aces has a very tricky draw. It's unfortunate because if she was able to pluck out that yellow without disturbing or disrupting the blues, she could score two, maybe three. But as it is, the guards are covering things up. That's also why I was thinking clearing the guards would have the best chance for a multiple point score or even scoring at all. But like I do my disclaimer a lot, I'm not on the ice. I don't necessarily know if I have the skill level to make the shots that I'm suggesting. So we will let the game play as it plays out. Last rock coming from Aces. So the line looks pretty good. Needs to curl up a little bit more than it is, and it's not going to come back. So it's going to go past the shot stone, settle into the back of the 8 foot, and that is a steal of one for Team Gilbert. They are going to take a 3-1 lead into the seventh end of a possible 8 ends of regulation. Pause the action. We'll be right back as we continue with, you know what it is by now, the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. All right, while they're in their end break, let's take a look around the rings as there's some exciting games with possible championship considerations or implications. Sheet A, the game between Team Cerna and Coleman. Uh, Cerna scored a single in the fifth. They are down 5-3, playing with the Blue Rocks. Sheet B is our feature game where Gilbert stole the sixth end. They're up 3-1. Sheet C, this is the game we want to keep an eye on between the to this point undefeated Team McBride. They are down, it appears, 5 to something to Team McDonald, and McDonald is threatening. Well, they're not threatening. McBride is hitting a shot. But it's a very interesting situation as McBride is undefeated to this point. They are the leaders in this competition. McDonald is in the hunt, but I think they have 2 losses to their name. And on sheet D, we have the contest between Team Endicott and Team uh, McLean. Endicott is in the driver's seat for that game. So, shifting our attention back to our feature sheet. We see Jeremy looking to put up a corner guard. I don't think they want to go in the rings. And they are a corner guard. Uh, be back in 30 seconds. All right, we are seeing the house after Tessa drew into the top of the house. Not very buried. So Jeremy is going to try to take it on with his second shot. Looking pretty good. It's going to hit and roll slightly. They wanted to try to bury it, but it just didn't get there. Good response by Mallory. Coverage of this end is being brought to you by Endgame Curling. Elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Its 100% carbon fiber brooms feature either a 7.5 or 9-inch head, use eco-friendly fabric, offer adjustable pivot resistance, and provide a unique locking sliding position to help you deliver with confidence. This is hanging out and it's going to just flash the shot rock in the rings. So for Endgame, reach the next level with Endgame's leading edge curling brooms. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. So with that miss, the opportunity swings toward Asis. I think ideally looking to score 2 or more here and then stealing the last end. We're only down to the last 2 ends of this midday draw. This tournament is winding down, but there's still a lot to play for. I guess that's I don't know. I guess that's what keeps me coming back. And hopefully you guys keep coming back too. As we see Jacqueline, this is over curling a little bit, but I think they wanted that. Ooh, that's not what they wanted. Because it crashed on the guard, it opens up the shot stone, and so now Gilbert is going to hit and roll under the center guards. So just a bit unlucky there by Jacqueline. Calling for board weight. He quickly got set. And his shot is away. Gonna hit. It's gonna roll, maybe just a little too far, poke out the other side, but definitely accomplishes the mission of getting rid of the shot stone. But that does lead Asis to put the broom down on the shot rock as the rock is away. Looks like it's close to a nose hit. Nose hit it is. So now Gilbert's going to ask Kara to hit and roll with the broom down. Gilbert calls line right out of hand. And this is might get a little wick off the guard. Oh no, it flashes past everything. So I think it was maybe tight out of hand, and the swoopers were not able to save it. So now the opportunity swings back toward Aces. They have the hammer down two, opting to draw the other side, kind of create some separation between the rocks in the rings for Andy Carl. They ideally want to get under the cover of the center guards. This is going to be on the guard, I believe. It chips the guard and rolls wide. Not a bad plan B, although I think Gilbert has a couple of choices. He could try the hit and roll on the shot stone on the right, and that is the call. I think they could maybe try to hit and roll under center, but that doesn't help them as much as just getting rid of that shot stone on the left from this view. So this is looking better. It's going to hit, and they're going to try to push it under as best they can, and ends up uh, about 20% buried. So Gilbert is sitting one. Aces has the second stone in the outer 12 foot on the left from this view. Andy has his second shot for as third for Team Aces. So Andy's shot is away, looking to I think hit the yellow. I don't think the shooter's going to stick around. Needs to make sure it doesn't hit the guard, and it's going to be tight on the guard. Past the guard, hits the yellow, and then the blue shooter is going to go to the edge of the 12 foot. That was well done by Andy Carl. So now Gilbert's going to ask David Hurst to hit and roll on the shot stone on the left, the right from this view. Calling for line. Looks like it's going to hit it on the nose. Maybe not see too much of a roll. We're going to see some roll as they're working to push it under the cover of the center guards, and it looks like they got about 60%, 80% there even. So that was a good shot there by David Hurst. Interesting situation. By the way, I think my allergies came in overnight, so if you hear me sniffling, I'm doing my best to keep it off mic. But if it gets on mic, I apologize. So, okay, so interesting situation in the rings. Uh, I think clearing the guards might be a viable strategy. Just to follow a podcaster named Mary Chivers. You rarely go wrong clearing the guard, and that could be a good call here because it would open up the shot stone, and it could go wrong. Now that I'm thinking about it, because that could leave the blue in the rings exposed for Hurst to take out with his nest stone. But they can't get to the shot stone very easily right now. They're opting for a heavy draw, and I don't know if the heavy draw is there. So this is going to pick the guard or tick the guard, tick the yellow guard. And so the yellow guard goes to the top outside the 12 foot, and then the shooter rolls to the opposite side outside the house. So right now, Gilbert is sitting one, and they want to find a way to make sure that Asis can't score, or only has a tough shot for one. So Gilbert's saying the run is well, the only thing they have. They do have a chance of the in off. Gilbert kind of swung over there. Let's listen in. Okay, they're done talking. So looking to draw. So I think they're looking to prevent the run, the in off to be a viable shot. So they want to make sure that they're in the house with a stone in front of the blue, or even tapping the blue is not too bad. So sweepers jump on it, and this looks like it's going to be in a not too bad place. They don't want to go too deep, and that was the slight miss there, as aces can hit that and roll in toward the button for the single point. I think Andy took a look to see if they could maybe try to do a run double, and I don't think the run double's there, especially just based on the angle of the rocks. So the broom is down for the hit and stick, or hit and slight roll towards the middle for one. That rock was really well placed by David. It does force aces to make a tricky shot. As she gets set, this is the hammer here in the seventh end. Needs to make sure it's on target. It's looking pretty good. It's starting to curl though. Not too bad though. Hit and oh, it over curled. It's going to roll through the reins out the back. That's going to be a steal of one for Team Gilbert. Up 4-1. So a good effort there by Aces. Just over curled a smidge. So Aces will hold the hammer in the eighth and final end of regulation when we come back to the 2026 curling.gg. It's not curling.gg. It's the 2026 MoPac mixed fours playdowns on the curling.gg network. Uh, Before we get to the eighth end, let's go around the rings once more. We have one final in the books, as we see on sheet D that Team McLean got on the board. They're yellow. They got on the board in the sixth end, and they shook after that with Team Endicott, the 8-1 winners. Sheet C, the game that we're most interested in, the contest between the undefeated McBride with the Bluestones playing Team McDonald with the Yellowstones. McDonald is up 5-3, but McBride is scraping, looking for places to score. We'll see if they're able to find the way in. Sheet B, it's our feature game. Gilbert just stole the seventh end. They're up 4-1. And then on sheet A, the seventh end is underway. The contest between Team Cerna with the Bluestones taking on Team Coleman with the Yellows. After a really bonzer fourth end, Coleman is in control. It's a pretty open house, up 6-3. So those scores are being posted to bonspieler.com. As we have the first rock of the eighth end being delivered by Tessa Parker for Oval Curling and Nashville Curling. Draws in. A pretty viable strategy. Looking to draw play in the rings and to possibly run Asis out of stones, as we see the next rock coming from Jeremy Mallard. This is light. It might hog. It just barely scoots over the line. Let's see if we can even see it on the overhead camera. And we can, ever so slightly. So next rut coming from Parker. Kind of had an interesting expression there as that rock went out of play. I don't know if it was a throw through. So Aces has the broom down for Jeremy to draw around the corner guard he just put up. Looking for just a little bit more weight from Jeremy with his second stone. Oh, they're putting up another corner guard. My bad. But that guard was successful. So there's two guards in place, and Gilbert is opting to draw around that high guard on the right side from this view. And actually, they are just throwing through. So I think that's what happened with Tessa's second stone. She threw through. So that's the last one they'll likely do. They'll be hitting after this as Jacqueline Pitlars is getting set, looking to draw around that tight corner guard on the left side from this view. Right side when we switch back to the playing side of the ice. This is a little light, I believe. They could be trying to set up two corner guards, which is what they're going to get. So Asis is looking to find places to hide stones to create a multiple point score, and Gilbert and his team wants to deny Asis that opportunity. As coverage of this end is being brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. If you have a favorite men's or women's team, you can see how they stack up against the competition at doubletakeout.com. You can sort by country, so you can see how the top U.S. teams compare against each other. Pretty fascinating stuff. Looking to peel these guards, they get one of the guards, both guards moving. One of them slips into the rings, and the other guard doesn't go out of play, but it is on the very extreme edge of the sheet. Just call that stunt David McCallum for all those deep music geeks out there, deep cut music geeks. I do like David McCallum's The Edge. It's a fun song. Snoop Dogg sampled it, if I remember correctly. And he was also an actor. He passed away in the past couple of years after being on one of the CBS police procedural shows. I think NCIS. So looking to try to go around the corner guard on the left. This is Jacqueline Second Stone. Definitely has really great weight there. Settles in on the T line for second shot. So Aces is sitting 2 and 3, but Gilbert is shot in the back button. So Gilbert's back in the hack or sorry, back in the house as Kara's in the hack for her first. Looking to try to run Aces out of rocks. So look for a takeout here, maybe a slight roll back towards the middle. Hits, and the shooter's going to roll through the house. Not too shabby. The primary mission of running one of the Aces stones out of the house was accomplished. Definitely love you guys tuning in. I would definitely love for you all to tune in for our MoPac After Dark tonight at 7:30, where our feature game will be Team McBride, the currently undefeated McBride, taking on Team Barajas. Could be a really interesting game. The fun starts at 7:30 Pacific. Check your local listings for more information. So Andy's first rock, he's got, I think, good weight. Looking to draw into the pile on the left. It is kind of exposed. So I think either Gilbert will try to peel that high guard or just try to pick out that blue that was just put in. And I think that's what they're opting to do. Looking for a control weight hit and roll. Said it needs to curl, so Tessa jumps on it. It's not going to come back though. Actually, they should keep sweeping it so it doesn't hit their own stone. And thankfully, it goes through the port. I say thankfully for them, through the port out of play. So Asis is building an opportunity here, and I almost think they could go after that yellow now. They only have 3 rocks after this, and we'll poke over to see in just a moment. Actually, they're calling their timeout, so let's poke over to let's go around the rings and see how the sheets are going. Before and we'll listen in just after that. So around the rings quickly. Uh, oh my goodness. On sheet C, we have a ton of rocks in play in the game between Team McDonald and McBride. Uh, McDonald has a ton of yellows, but McBride is sitting first and second shot. So this is a chance for McBride to get back into this game, but it is McDonald's a shot. So I think just recognizing the momentous situation here for sheet C, we're going to see Andy's shot here. So looking at fully the situation, uh, looking to probably hit both blues out. It just gets one of the blues gone, and then one of the blues sticks around. So it was McDonald that had the hammer, ended up giving up a steal of one. So McDonald still has the hammer up one with one end to go. So it's a bit of a dogfight happening there. Oh my goodness. We'll definitely check in on that game as we get closer to the finale. Uh, Shifting back to our feature game. So they are opting to go after go after that yellow now. The reason why is I was thinking go after that yellow now so that they kind of force the play towards the middle and they can keep it open so then Aces would have a chance to score that three. That's why I thought they should do that, and I like the call. And that shot is made, and nose hits, and Aces is sitting four. So now for Gilbert, I think I think their best bet is to try to draw the play toward the outside. So looking to hit and roll towards the pile, maybe get buried, and so then it'll be hard for Aces to pluck out any yellow stone that David Hurst might put into play. So David is set, looking for a hit and roll. Tess is going hard for line. Needs to hit and hopefully roll. Ooh, it kisses. And then the shooter is going to go away. The shot stone goes to the back 12 foot. So, a bit of a eat situation on sheet B. Just to echo one of the YouTube commenters on the C game, the sheet C game. Pardon me. So Aces is sitting three with a split house. They need three to tie, four to win. This is a pretty big game, especially as um, there's an outside chance for either of these teams to make the playoffs. So Aces, curious about what the shot they're going for here. Looks like they're going to try and split the rings, draw toward the left side or opposite of where the stones are in the house. This has got a decent amount of weight on it, though. I don't know if they thought that heavy was the miss. So they're coming down to talk about it. Let's see if we can listen in. They have 5.5 minutes. So after that brief discussion, I think what they're opting to do is to hit the blue out that's open. They were looking at that, uh, and then just basically let Aces make a shot to tie the game, but they don't want to give up the win here or give up the loss here. So interesting call. As the room is down, I kind of tend to agree with it. I was thinking they could try the double, but I don't think the double was there. Or they could try a really difficult draw around those blues. But the odds of them poking out and giving Aces a chance for the win was also there. So this is David Hurst. His last control waits to pick out the blue in the back to kind of challenge Aces to make a shot for the tie. And so that shot is made, the shooter rolls out, and so basically Aces has a open draw to anywhere in the house to touch paint for the tie. So that strategy does make sense, but it does give Aces a chance to draw for the tie. But that makes sense. You don't necessarily want to lose here if you don't have to. So Jennifer Aces is going to get set. Probably she was a little heavy with her last, so the weight's going to be a huge question here as she gets set for the last rock the hammer of regulation. Needs to touch paint. That's all they need. It's looking pretty good. As the weight comes off, it's going to probably settle in right around the button, and it does reach top 4 foot, just outside the button. So that is a score of 3 to tie things up. And we are headed to extras. Once again, this is the second game that we've had, and we've had them on the feature sheet, or we've been able to show them on the feature sheet, which is great. Gilbert will have the hammer as we head to the extra end, and we'll have that when we come back to the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. So while they are talking, they're going to get a new allotment of time and one more timeout to play this end. So let's poke over to sheet D, where we have a Team McBride and Team McDonald in a tough battle in the eighth end. Uh, we see a pretty open sheet. So McBride needs to steal to tie. McDonald needs to either uh, blank or force, or blank or score. They have the hammer. This is Darren Campbell's shot. So we are to the third stones. And that peels the guard. So they're calling their timeout. So this is fascinating. I don't quite know which game to stay tuned to. Um, let's go around the rings really quickly while they do their timeouts. Basically, McBride needs to find a place to hide, and McDonald basically wants to keep an open sheet for the draw for the win. So sheet A, that game is concluded as we have Team Cerna. Sorry, we have Team Coleman winning, so they stay at one loss. The 6-4 winners over Team Cerna. Team on sheet B, we're tied between teams Asis and Gilbert. Sheet C is a close contest. I think we're going to switch to catch the last of that. I think we have to do that. Uh, and on sheet 4, we had Team Endicott defeat Team McLean. Um, so fascinating stuff. Let us pop back into the McBride McDonald game, and we'll definitely catch the end of our feature game in a moment. So McBride is looking to draw around the McDonald guard. And I think they want to be, based on where Claire Vlasky has the broom, they want to be top 4 foot. I think that makes sense. So this ruck it looks a little heavy, but when the weight comes off, it's going to dig in. And it's going to dig in right at the tee line, just above the tee. So not a bad place to be. So you see Brian Feldman Jr. in the hack, just kind of keeping an eye on what shots might be possible. So McDonald just wants to clear the guard. That makes perfect sense. So clear the guard, and then I'm going to guess that McBride is going to draw and put up a front stone in the top 8 foot. I hear like a sea chanty somewhere. Huh. We are close to the water. Andy McDonald gets set. Looking to peel the guard. She could try to run it back. That would, I think, be an okay outcome. But it just ends up peeling. That's fine. And so now, now the math is fairly easy. Uh, Claire's gesturing for a tight guard. That also makes sense. But then McDonald would have a pretty okay draw toward the button for the win. This game could also go to the extra end as McBride needs 2 to win, 1 to tie. So interesting, looking for the tight guard. As we see Justin McBride from OC Curling get set. This is a combination team from OC Curling in San Francisco. And his rock is away. Last rock for McBride without the hammer, hoping to steal the tie. This is a little up weight. I don't know if they want to look for a plan B. Nope, it ends up right where they wanted it. These stones are just totally throwing me for a loop, guys. So McDonald calls their timeout. I think really just to have the time to, make sure they have the line angled, or sorry, the line set up precisely. Just a draw. That's all they want. I agree with that call. It's interesting that USA Curling and World Curling rules now allow coaches to be on the ice, and they're available for consultations. I think in between ends, and we don't have space for that, and we don't have any coaches in the field this weekend. But it's just interesting to think about when you have a timeout and being able to ask a coach about what they think about a shot. But here we are. This is Andy McDonald, her rink out of Coyotes and Wine Country. Most of the curlers are from Coyotes. Brian is from Wine Country, looking to draw for the win. Shot is away. Looking for the button, and all the teams in this competition practice this. It's a key component of the competition, and we will see how attentive Andy has been on this type of shot. There's a little bit of backing as it sits down. It needs to sit down. It's going to go, right to the back. And that is handshakes. And down goes McBride, the last undefeated team in the field. And the warm room erupts in cheers and applause as Team McDonald has defeated the, to this point, undefeated Team McBride. So definitely changes the complexion of this competition. and we will let you guys know what's happening in just a moment when we switch back to sheet B, our feature game. So that was a finish, folks. So going back to our feature sheet, we are to Vice Stones already. Let's take a as Andy gets set. Let's go side by side. So side by side, Gilbert has the hammer, and they are sitting two right now. And so Andy Carl is looking to draw around a yellow center guard, and I think that's the situation right now. Some fun games all around. And we can see the ace of stone in the top 12 foot, and we see Andy's stone settle in the top 8 foot. Good for shot, but we can see from the head-on view that it is pretty exposed. So the question is, how does Team Gilbert take it on? And I think they just want to, if even if they nose it, that's not too bad. They don't want to. They don't want to jam. And I think they would ideally look for a way to hide the stone behind that high corner guard or the high guard. So this is Kara Umflet, the vice for Team Gilbert. This would be her first. Peels the guard. So it does open up the center. And so now the question is, what does Asis do to secure a stone to steal the win? And I think they're just looking to put up another center guard. That makes a bunch of sense as Andy's rock is away. And this is going to be a high guard, a snoop guard. And so Gilbert's just going to peel the guard, try to keep an open house so David Hurst can draw for the win. As we have Kara just set for her second rock. And the last of the third rocks for both teams. The guard is peeled, and it goes right between those stones in the house. That could have been potentially treacherous for Team Gilbert. Treacherous. There we go. Word of the day, guys. Treachery. Uh, so it looks like Aces is going to put up another guard. One effective steal strategy that one of my skips did was to just like draw and freeze. If they make the freeze, it makes it harder for even a good team to like constantly hit stones out of play. Um, don't know if it would work in this case. This is Jennifer Aces, her first without the hammer here in the ninth extra end. And this is going to be a guard. They don't want it to over curl though. And it looks like over curl just a smidge, but not too bad. So I think Gilbert's going to try to peel the guard, maybe go for the double. Let's see if we can hear what they're saying. So it looks like they're opting to draw now. Maybe get to shot position. This is an interesting call. So looking for, I believe, drawing to the back of the forefoot. It looks a little heavy, as it is going to go to the back of the house and out of play. I was curious about that call, as Asis is taking their time out. Let's see if we can listen in. Okay, I can't really hear. I had the sound cranked all the way up. So Aces is sitting one right now. They have one shot to go to steal the win here in this extra end, tied at four, and they can't block off everything. So I think they're looking at maybe blocking the draw path for the likely counter from David Hurst and Team Gilbert. And that side that they're looking at is the most likely side. Their timeout is over. They have a minute 11 seconds remaining. So opting to put up the guard makes sense. Block off the easy draw path, and then we'll see what David Hurst and Team Gilbert does. They have less than a minute remaining for their shot. We can see the clocks in the background as Jennifer gets set. Looks a little wide, but we will see where it ends up. And this is actually it's curling up really nicely, and it's going to settle in the just close to a tight mid guard. And so Gilbert's taking their timeout, and let's see if we can hear what they're saying. So based on where Gilbert has the broom, they are looking for a draw. They're not looking to tap or hit and roll or anything like that. It's just a straight draw to the full 8 foot for the win. So there's a bit of a port. It's definitely manageable as we see David Hurst facing one Asis blue one way or the other. This game ends now. as David Hurst shies away. A little melodramatic on my part. Sweepers are on it. They need to make sure it doesn't uh, come in contact with the guard. Needs to make sure it's the weight's there as Gilbert's coming up just to be ready in case. Looks pretty good as the weight. We'll get it to the back 8 foot. Now it needs to sit down, and it goes too far. Goes to the back 12 foot. So Asis steals the win, and a really good game all around. That shot was really close and just went a little too far. And make the final Team Asis 5, Team Gilbert 4. So, my goodness, that was an exciting finish. As the teams head down the ice, want to give some thanks to our sponsors once more, including doubletakeout.com, offering a unique way to view statistics and rankings of the top men's and women's teams from around the world, doubletakeout.com, and by curling.gg. Curling.gg is growing fast and has partnered with Jamie Sinclair from the Curl Up with Jamie channel to bring more curling insight to fans everywhere. And by Endgame Curling, elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. So at the end of this draw, let us go over the results at the end of the day as the scores are being posted to bonspieler.com. Actually, let's look at the standings. We saw most of the games how they ended. Let's go over the standings just to see how they stand at the end of this draw. With one draw to go, interesting situation. So we have a two-way tie at the top of the table. We have Team Coleman and Team McBride at 6-1. McBride would hold a tiebreaker as he defeated Coleman last night. McDonald is just a step away at 5-2. And Aces with their win are at 4-3, right next to Barajas. And then we have Endicott and Gilbert at 3-4. And we have Serna and McLean with the rest of the table. And McLean is that's her final record as they have the bye with the last draw. So coming up at 7:30 tonight, MoPac After Dark. It's starting to get cray y'all, as as our featured game will be Team McBride 6-1 taking on Team Barajas at 4-3. So uh, lots to play for. I definitely think it's going to come down to Coleman, McBride, and McDonald, and after they play their games tonight, we'll see where everything stands, and it's going to be crazy. I'm curious to see how it's all going to shake out. So until then, on behalf of all of us here at MoPac and the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, this has been your host, Ryan Olson, saying good afternoon and good curling. We're going to have a stem winder at 7:30, and we'll see you then.